Neonic Void Productions presents.
Welcome to Spookocalypse, where I'm not where I'm Zio. No,
The
ma'am.
housekeeper made Zio uncomfy.
This movie made me a little uncomfy that we're talking about today. But I'm joined by housekeeper and Bunyip, and I'm the one that chose this movie too.
Well, I mean, I suggested it, right? Like I was just like,
Yeah,
"Hey, what about this one?" Shout out. Hold on, I have to find out what freaking Instagram. Because I've
well, that's
this
fair.
this chick that I found on Instagram. She's great. Oh my god. Hold on. Where do I go? Hold on. Following. It's Heidi Wong. I think that's her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So shout out to It's Heidi Wong. She posts a lot of reels, or if TikTok's still around, I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention. I'm only on Instagram. But she posts a lot of videos about like quick summaries of scary movies, and I think it was her. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but still watch her content because it's great. But like that's where I first found out about it. They're like, "Hey, this is a movie that really explores like the like the psychology, the mind of what a serial killer is like."
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, "Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
you have piqued my interest."
Mm-hmm.
Because on my free time, I also listen to the podcast Serial Killers, which talks about the psychology of serial killers.
Mm-hmm. And I listen to the podcast My Favorite Murder and Morbid and other true crime podcasts. So I mean, I've heard about this movie too. And then when Housekeeper brought it up, I'm like, oh my god, yes. And then you know what? The first thing I should have noticed is when I went on Disney Plus, because if y'all didn't know, at this point in time, Hulu and Disney Plus have merged into one. So Hulu has majority, if not their whole library, on Disney Plus
Mhm.
currently. So I went on there, cool, because I know the movie we're talking about today is on Hulu. And I'm like, cool, let me go on Disney Plus and find it.
It used to be on Tubi.
It used to be on TV, but it's not anymore because the world fucking hates us. So I logged into Disney Plus. Imagine remotes clicking or keyboard clicking. Did I find it? No. And I'm like, I know it's on Hulu. Are y'all fucking tripping? And I'm like, why would they not include it on Disney Plus? Watching the movie, I understand why. I understand why. The movie we're talking about today, before we get into that, housekeeping.
Oh shit! Hold on. I'm in the middle of eating my dinner, bro.
Well,
We
let's
had a
think.
pot roast.
Let's
Ooh,
think
a
of a
pot
flavor.
roast.
I was gonna say, let's
Savor
think
the
of a
flavor.
No, think of a flavor of mint.
We don't see him ever eating anything, do we?
Flesh.
No,
Did he
I don't
eat?
know.
He didn't eat. He didn't eat anybody.
No, but he cut
not a
them up.
cannibal.
I don't
No.
know.
Well, we'll say that's his saving grace was that he was not a cannibal.
That's true.
He just killed people, you know.
He did a lot of things. Popsicle flavor because of the
Popsicle.
freezer.
Oh my god. I hate it
Or
here.
or pizza flavor.
Did he eat pizza?
No, but there are pizza. I think there are pizza boxes in the freezer.
There was pizza boxes in the freezer.
Anyway,
Okay,
go on.
cool. If you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Share with your friends. New episodes get uploaded every Saturday. Links are down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on Twitter. Sorry, I will never call it by that name. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That's at SPOOKOCALYPSE. We are also on YouTube. If you are from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you drop a like, comment down if there's a favorite part of the movie, or um there's something that you want to hear us talk about, or if you just want to drop by and say hi. We don't bite. We like scary shit, but we're not scary ourselves. Also, ring that bell, tickle it, take it out to lunch or dinner, whatever you want to do with it. Just turn on those notifications and subscribe. We're gonna be doing some spooky shit, and mints are gonna be on the pillow. And as previously discussed, the mint is oddly flavored pizza. It's just pizza flavored candy. Wait,
Ew.
It's not even
that's
like a.
even worse.
I was gonna be like, it's not even a good pizza. It's like the kind of pizza that's
Frozen
sold by
Giorno.
no, like the kind of a restaurant in which they make pizza, but it's clearly a front for something else, so they don't really bother with the quality of the ingredients.
Yes.
Oh, kind of like how we have. I can't say the location.
We have that one restaurant and that
We
one
have that
place
fish.
fries
We have that
things.
fish restaurant.
Mhm.
There's a
It's
fish restaurant.
clearly a front for criminal activity.
Bro,
So
dude,
sure.
everybody in this town or city knows that this
Side eye.
restaurant is a front.
Side
Like,
eye.
everyone knows it's a front, but
There's no
people
one
still eat
ever- there
there because it's not bad. It's not bad fish.
There's no one ever fucking in the parking lot.
My
I
exes.
go by. I go by there and there's nobody there except for one car.
There's like nobody ever there. And there's like rumors like the main like walk-in is always closed. Like they have
for
it
some
locked
ungodly
up.
reason.
They have it locked up, and like the owners go there every once in a while, go in there and then come out and then lock it back again. Like the employees that actually work at the locations don't go in there. But if you ask them if it's a front, they'll say no.
Of
Like,
course.
they'll say no. If you guys are from this area, you guys know what we're talking about. I'm not dropping no fucking names. I don't want to get shot.
I don't know what you're talking about. What front?
What?
For who?
What front? What?
A front for what? Who? What? I don't know anything. I don't side eye that place as I drive by it.
Not gonna
Wondering
lie
if
though,
their
they
food's
do have some
actually
really
good.
good. They do have good, like it's decent food. Like it's not the best, but like I'll eat it if it's bought, And my boyfriend likes it. He's like, it's really good, and I'm all like, you're fucking crazy.
I'm afraid to go in there or go through the drive-thru.
What, do you think that they're gonna see you and be like,
No.
ew, a fag, and then like shoot you in the face? Like, what do you think's gonna
Maybe.
happen?
I don't know. It's just the stigma around that place. I'm just like, side eye, bombastic side eye.
It's
Anyway,
not bad. What if I buy some and then you try it? What
I'll
if
do
what
it,
if I
yeah.
do that?
yeah, that's lovely.
Okay.
Because I've lived here for over half my life, and I've never had anything from that place before.
That was
Anyway.
like the first rumor I ever heard when I moved
Same.
there. I was 10.
Literally, I was 7th grade. Word went around quick.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so today we're not talking conspiracy theories. Even though
that'd be a fun topic.
that could be a fun episode.
That'd be a fun topic.
Adding that to the list. We're gonna be talking about The House That Jack Built. It's a psychological horror art film from 2018. Stars Matt Dillon, Bruno Gans, Uma Thurman, Uma Thurman, and a bunch of other people.
Damn, bro. You're like, fuck the rest. Fuck these 4 other people that are listed.
I mean, none of them really what I call. Well, okay, I can't forget about Miss. Oh God.
Siobhan Fallon Hogan, who I swear
Yes.
is the lady from Men in Black, whose husband gets taken
Yes.
over by the big
It is.
alien bug.
It
It
is.
is.
It is.
It is.
That's where I recognize her from. Yes.
Damn, I was
then-
wondering where I've seen her before. I was like, I've seen this lady somewhere.
And then there's Danielle, Riley. I don't know.
Sophie, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy Davis. But yeah, so and there's also a Danish actress because the director is Danish. Lars von Trier. He's also the guy who did the movie Antichrist with Willem Dafoe, which scenes of that movie show up in this film as well.
Really? I did not
Um,
know that.
Yeah, there's some cut scenes and you see Willem Dafoe fucking somebody in front of a tree. And that's
What?
Antichrist. Yes. Yes.
Was I
You-
not
I mean, you
looking
don't
at the
see- I mean,
screen when that
you
happened?
you don't see it. I mean, you don't see anything like as far as like body goes, but they do show a scene from Antichrist and
I must-
Nephrophiliac.
I must have been blinking during those moments because I didn't see a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He uses footage from his previous movies in this film. And during the fourth incident, it was a montage that he did.
Okay.
So, this movie, Lars von Trier, he did Nymphomaniac, Antichrist. Cool. This movie was released May 14, 2018 at the Cannes Film Festival. And then it was released in the United States November 28, 2018, and in Denmark, November 29th, 2018.
Why did it release in the United States before Denmark?
I don't know. Probably because it's probably something to do with IFC. Because IFC were the ones who released it in the States. The budget for it was 9.9 million, and the box office was 5.6 million.
Damn.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'm honestly, I don't think they made this to make money. He made this obviously for a particular reason.
Artsy fartsy horror film.
Yep, the look inside the head of a serial killer, and that's exactly what this film is. Yeah, this movie's a one-time watch. Yeah,
I found it. I found the movie that
Yeah,
you only watch once.
Yeah, this movie I will only watch once, and I will never watch it again.
You'll happily watch fucking Yep. Speak No Evil again.
Yeah, I most certainly will.
You'll happily watch those children, that
Yep.
child get their fucking tongue cut out of them,
Yep.
but you won't watch a child get their leg shot. Okay, I see
Nope.
how it
Yeah. It's fucked. Okay. Even though I love the Dante, this movie is also heavy in the Dante's Inferno
Yeah,
vibes
it is.
and symbolism and context and shit, and I love that. That's what kept me around because it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie starts off. Gosh, where do we even start?
I mean, we start at the very beginning.
No shit, really? Do I start at the end?
It's a very good place to start.
Oh, wow, would never have guessed that. Thank you. So we join a serial killer named Jack as he starts recounting how he became a serial killer to a guy named Virgil, whom he refers to as Verge. And he basically goes over his like 12 years of him being a serial killer from like the 70s into the 80s, and these are the particular incidents that he recounts that are like pivotal to his, I guess, serial killer career ?
Career.
I don't know if I would even call it a career, but these killings were like he killed over what, 60 to 80 people, something like that. Because I know you said 60 something at one point, but that was like halfway into the movie. So I think he might have killed like what, 80 something total, something like that. Did they ever actually give a final number?
I think it's 60.
Well, no, because the blonde girl was 61.
Uh,
Because I was like halfway through the movie.
the
But
department is sealed. In the 5th incident, I'm not sure because there was like what,
there were a lot more bodies
like
at
eight,
that point.
like 8 people in the freezer, and the last incident.
Yeah. He killed at least over, I would say over somewhere between 65 to 80, somewhere in there.
Let me. I'm gonna.
Unless
Google
he killed like more people off screen. Because he did do a lot of killings that were off screen too, because they weren't these particular incidents that really stuck with him. So we're gonna go over each incident that he talks about.
They said
Oh.
at least 67.
At least 67. Okay. Damn.
I'm just gonna ballpark, like probably in the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Somewhere in the 80s ish. So the first incident that he thinks back to, he encounters a woman on the side of the road on a rural road in the middle of the woods, and her tires flat, and has a broken jack, and she's like, "Oh my god, can you help me?" And he's like, "It's not my job." He's like, "But I don't know what to do. What do I do? Can you look at my car?" And he's like, "Yeah, you got a flat tire." "Oh, but this won't work." "Oh, your jack's broken." "Oh no, what do I do?" And he's like, "I can go back to there's I guess mechanic shop. I can go back there and let them know you're here." "Oh my god, can you drive me back?" Okay. So she gets in the car, he drives back, and the only thing she talks about is like, "Oh my god, are you a serial killer?" And this woman has a death wish. Like she goes on this whole rant about how she's like, "Oh my god, are you a serial killer? You're gonna kill me?"
Broke the first rule: don't ever get into a stranger's car. And
Exactly.
This van looks like a serial killer's car, and he's just like,
Side eye. It's ridiculous. And then he takes her to the place, and she's like, "Oh my god, cool. I'm gonna go in there." He's like, "Okay, cool. Have him drive you back." And she's like, "No, I don't want to get in a car with a stranger. And we get along pretty well. So I'll be right back." And then she goes in, talks to the mechanic or whatever bullshit. And then she comes back and gets back in the car. And she's like, "I really get along with you. It's great." And then she goes again on the conversation of, "Oh my god, are you a serial killer? Oh my god, you're gonna kill me. I can't do anything about it. Oh no. Unless I grab this jack and beat you with it. Ooh." And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then he gets to her car and she's like, "You know what? You're not a serial killer. You're a fucking pussy." And I'm just like, girl, he gets the jack and hits her in the face with it. Ow. First off, ow. That looked like it hurt. I know it's supposed to look like it hurts, obviously. I know. But like the way the sound design was and the way they filmed it and the way it looks, ow. Oof. Oof. So he killed her, even though I don't think he was eyeing to kill her, but he did.
Yeah, it was mainly like a sequence of little annoyances and agitation, and eventually, like, "Oh, fine, you fucking want it so bad, I'll kill you, I'll fucking kill you." And then he hits her with the jack, and then hits her like multiple times just to be sure, like a moment of anger. But there's more to it than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, not mechanic, a blacksmith. Yeah, I was a blacksmith. So
he also tries to hide the car.
Yeah, he tries to hide the car in the woods. He finds a path, and they realize you could see it from the road, but he just leaves it there anyway. And then he takes a tire jack and then stores her body in an industrial freezer inside of a factory building he purchased from a pizzeria. Which is kind of there's some funny unintentional funny moments in this movie, and the fact that he bought a pizzeria, a factory with industrial freezer from a pizzeria. I thought was kind of funny in a weird way. Like, what the fuck? So he left her body in there. And there was one door in the industrial freezer that he couldn't open. And that's also becomes a reoccurring thing where he tries to open it throughout the whole movie. Well, until the end. So that's the first incident. The second one, he
conspicuously tails a woman walking to her house in
yeah,
a small neighborhood.
yeah. Oh, go on.
Oh yeah.
Go on.
I guess we're all sitting here. Like
Yeah,
he goes up to the house and he knocks on the screen door. She answers it and he's like, "Hi, I'm I see you were shopping at this superstore." I was like, yeah, did something happen?" And she immediately has like this defensive look on her face, like, "Who are you?" And he claims that he's a police officer and he's just doing an investigation. Basically, he's trying to get himself into the house, but she's like, "Not without badge." He's like, "Well, see, my badge. That's good that you asked that I have my badge, but I don't have my badge. It's being polished at the silversmith. Which, why would it be that? I don't care. And it's because I got a promotion." And she's like, "Okay."
Again, side eye.
But then when he's not able to elaborate further on his lie, he's like, "Actually, I lied about being a police officer. I'm an insurance salesperson."
And I'm like, yeah, because that's going to work. I mean, it
does.
does. I mean, it did. But
It weirdly does work. Basically, he's like, "I knew your husband. We worked on the railroad together. I collect rails." And he's like, "You collect rails?"
Well, that was towards the police officer. Hello?
What do you mean by towards the police officer?
So whenever he was like, "Yeah, I knew the officer, I collect rails and like I was waiting for her and everything like that." That was a lie he told the police officer.
Oh, I thought that was earlier.
No, whenever he was talking to the widow, he was just like, "Oh yeah, like I could get you a higher premium or some shit like that."
Yeah, a higher pension, and that's the
Yeah.
thing that, like, lets her guard down, like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Man,
Like
can
if you
I?"
could double my pension, hell yeah.
Yeah, and then she lets her in, and she literally says, "What's the worst that could happen?"
girl, that's the last thing you should fucking say.
And then he does this, like, I guess, victimizing thing to himself, makes it seem like she's at fault for making him feel like, "Yeah, I'm out here,
He
and you're
gaslights her.
humiliating me." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then she's like, "Oh, I'll go get you something." And then he strangles her. He chokes the life out of her. Well,
Twice.
almost. Yeah, twice. And then
Twice.
I thought he was gonna, like, have
He
it
didn't
look like
fucking
she
kill her
choked
the
on a
first time.
He
Yeah.
didn't.
I thought he was gonna have her, like, choke on a donut, like, make it look like, "Oh, it was an accident," but he just
That's
ends up
fucked up, too.
stabbing her instead.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he gets rid of the body, and he cleans up the blood, and then there's multiple instances where he's like, "Okay, I've got the body in the van. It's a clean getaway. I clean the house. Wait, what if there was blood on the carpet? Oh, shit, I gotta go back inside." And he checks, he's like, "Okay, it's clean. It's not under this furniture. I'm gonna clean the house again." This is where his obsessive compulsive disorder kicks in. He is very
Yeah.
meticulous about keeping a scene clean, which makes it really good at hiding a crime, but he also takes a really long time. In fact, it takes so long that a police officer shows up,
Yeah.
and he makes the hasty decision to drag the lady's body out of his van and hides her in the
That shit was
bushes.
funny.
Yes, I was like, "How did you get away with this?"
Yeah,
Oh,
he drew
are you talking about when he's dragging the body on the way
No,
back?
no. When
I
he
am.
takes the body out of the van and hides her in the bush,
Oh
not
yeah.
really
Yeah.
doing that great of a job covering up, and the police officer like,
No.
"Yay, buddy, what you doing here at this house that clearly isn't yours? We heard a disturbance." I was like, "Yeah, he was trying to see the this lady, I don't remember what her character's name is. Claire?
Thanks, Claire. Yeah.
Okay, Claire. He's like, I knew it was Claire. I was gonna talk with her, and she went inside, and she just didn't come out. And I've been waiting for her ever since. Like, and then he says, like, I think she's missing. I'm like, wait, how do you know that she's missing?
He's like, I've been waiting here for like several hours. She went inside. I tried knocking on the door, but like no one fucking answered.
Yeah, and then like the police officer was over, and he's like, it should be unlocked. Like you could just open it. And then he opens it, and I was like, wouldn't that be a big tip off? Like, how would you know that it's unlocked?
Right.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff that would be suspicious behavior, the police officer like doesn't really check him on it. But then while he's investigating the scene at Jack's insistence, Jack boldly gets the body out of the bushes, shoves it back into the van, closes it, and then drives off. Well, actually, he doesn't put it in the van. He ties it to the tailgate or just the back of it. He drives
He just
off.
drags her. This poor lady.
On
I'm
the
sorry, that
road,
shit
and
was
there's a
so
bullet.
funny to me.
I mean, it was in such a fucked up way.
It leaves a very obvious blood trail, but thanks to his fortune and the power of nature, the rain washes it away. He takes Claire back to the freezer and notices that her face is completely gone because friction. And then he's like, I'm going to declare myself Mr. Sophistication. And I'm going to sign some anonymous letters to the media. Going to take some pictures of my next victims. Going to pose them all real nice. And just to mess with the authorities. And he starts getting more bold with his killings because he notices that his obsessions and compulsions start to diminish.
He's like, it's so liberating.
That's something.
It's not a healthy way to cope, but it works.
Question mark?
Yeah, very,
Concerned?
very, very overt question mark.
Calls the police. Hello? Girl.
Who wants to cover the third incident?
Wait, which one's the third one? Is the third one the one
You
I think
know
it
what
is?
the third one is.
I'm not doing the third one.
You don't want to talk about the hunting trip?
Oh God, the hunting trip is the worst one. Okay, I will do the hunting trip because it's my not my favorite. I don't want to say it's the most fucked up. There you go.
I
It's
could
the most
cover
fucked up.
the part where you're not the most comfortable.
The whole thing is so. So the third incident that he does is
Do
he
you
brings.
want me to do the third incident?
No, I will do it. I will do it.
Okay.
He's like, I don't want to do it. I'll do it. Shut up, I insist.
I don't want to do it. The third incident is Jack bringing his girlfriend and her two sons, Grumpy and George, to a hunting range out in the middle of the woods to have a picnic. And I'm like, and watching this, I was like, oh my God, maybe he's going to change. Maybe this is the moment where he's like, oh my God, I'm going to have a family.
Hey man, there are serial killers who do have families.
I know, but not this one. He brought him here for a particular reason. He brought a rifle and he showed him how to hunt.
That's a long game though. Like
that's some fucking long game.
He played
shit.
some fucking long game shit with this family.
He was at least in a relationship with this woman for like at least a couple months, if not longer. Like at least, because they never say how long he was in a relationship with her, but it had to be at least, I would say, half a year, at least, because he was familiar with her sons and everything. So, but he takes them out to a shooting range on a hunting trip out in the middle of nowhere, and he basically shows them how to fire a rifle, about hunting animals. And Jack's kind of weird because he talks about how he doesn't like to hunt. But because at that point, I'm sorry, having a conversation with him and him saying, oh yeah, I really don't like to hunt animals or anything like that. You're just kind of like, what?
Well, I remember the kid also asking like, oh, have you killed big animals? And he was like, yeah, I've killed some big animals.
he's not
I'm like,
lying in a way. Side
technically
eye,
humans are animals.
technically, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, he's not lying, but like side eye concern. And then at some point, it kind of just jumps to the mother and the two sons hiding as you start hearing gunshots from the hunter's tower he's in, and he's firing off bullets at them. And during all this, he's having an internal monologue how to hunt a female deer and a doe and her fawns, and like the order that you shoot the babies and then the mom. You save the mom for last. And I'm like, oh, that's fucked. So they tried to find a way. They obviously tried to escape, and one of the sons runs off, and then he shoots him. And luckily, this movie, like we were talking about before we started recording, that this movie follows the rule of that they do not show the death of a child, because I thought for a hot minute they were fucking going to. So he shoots the.
It's
I
a
think
very
it's the,
big unspoken rule within the horror community, though. Like, you
Yeah.
don't show kids getting killed.
I mean, there are movies out there that do, but that's neither here nor there. I
I've
thought
never
for
heard
sure.
of them.
Oh, there's a lot of movies that show kids dying. Girl,
I believe it, but like I don't watch them.
girl. But I thought for sure this one was going to show show at least the kids getting shot. But you hear the gunshot and you see the boy fall, and then like his leg is like basically shot in half, one of his legs, and kind of just lays there as the mother's like losing her mind. Of course she will, because it's like shit, her kids are dying, and then her second son runs out there, shoots him. After she goes out there to the youngest, he runs out, gets shot, and she's left by herself. And the part, so like I was saying before we recorded, this movie has a weird, it's not very, okay, in the gore factor, it's not very gory at all. There's a little blood here and there, some disturbing stuff, strangling, gunshot, whatever. But it's compared to the other films we talked about on this show, the gore factor is very minimal.
Yeah, it really is. There's like stage blood at most.
Yeah, at most. But the way,
Oh no, there's a estranged tit.
there's a strange tit and a knife to the jaw, up the mouth. There's that, but like again, comparatively, this film is not that gory compared to the other stuff we have done. But in my opinion, that's worse. The fact that this movie doesn't show any blood or gore in that way, in my opinion, is worse than if they actually showed it. Because this movie,
You want to know why?
one,
I think I found out why. Just thinking about it, because you have to use your imagination more.
yeah.
And the fact that like the way that your imagination is working, the way that your mind is working, you're probably imagining something a lot worse than what is shown.
Mm-hmm. Why you gotta read me like that? Now I'm questioning myself. Why the fuck would my imagination do that?
Intrusive thoughts, bro.
And God,
I was
you
gonna say,
know,
just imagination runs wild.
oh
Well,
yeah,
like, but I mean, I would call it intrusive thoughts because it's not like true thoughts that you would normally imagine. They're just like those random ass thoughts that you have sometimes. And sometimes you can't control them. So,
and ladies and gentlemen, currently, little mental health journey. I'm currently on antidepressants as of recently, and my imagination, because before I took the meds, I was really bad, anxiety, depression, all that not fun stuff.
same bestie, same.
But my imagination, my creativeness, kind of was dwindled to basically nothing. I didn't have the creativity and imagination I had was kind of just dead. But recently it's been starting to come back slowly. But and then watching this movie, I'm like, oh, my imagination's back. Woo, oh no. What the fuck? So I was like, what a way to exercise that part of the brain. But this movie, back to this movie, it has even though it doesn't show any gore, and of course it's about the mind of a serial killer, this movie has a layer of realism to it. And it might be the way the actor Michael Dillon's playing Jack. It might be the way it's shot. I'm sure it's probably all of this. The way it's shot, the way it's written, the way the actors play their roles. It feels like, to me, it felt like I was watching something that I shouldn't be watching. You know?
Did you feel that way watching the Poughkeepsie tapes?
No,
Really?
no, not at all. Not at all. Like I said, it's weird. This movie, for whatever reason,
Because I feel like you would feel
got
that way
me.
with the Poughkeepsie tapes. Because like you're watching his tapes, as you know.
yeah, but to me, those don't really seem that real. To me, the realism wasn't there. I mean, it was fucked
Okay.
up. Don't get me wrong, but the realism factor, like this movie, it's for me. Like, it doesn't, like, people can watch this movie all day and night, I'm sure, but to me, it just really made me really uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, I know how that feels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, but yeah, he after he kills the two boys, he leaves the mom alive, and he basically forces her to have a picnic with her son's corpses. And I'm just like, damn, that's fucked.
Yeah, he's like, I've always loved pie as a kid, or like I never got to have pie as a kid. Like, come on, give him a piece of pie. It's like he just gets a spoonful, like a shaky spoonful, just putting
Oh
it
my
near
God.
the kid's mouth.
It's so fucked. And then he's like, so what's your favorite number? Everyone has a favorite number. And she's like, 12. And he's like, okay, you're free to go. And then he starts counting down from 12. And then she kind of gets up and makes a run for it. But honestly, I think at that point she kind of just in a way she kind of gives up because she doesn't really run.
I mean,
I don't blame her. Her kids
if
just
you're
died.
a parent
so of course.
and you just fucking saw your two kids get murdered in front of you,
Yeah.
I don't think you would want to live
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, she kind of just because when I was looking at descriptions of that scene, because I was looking for a good summary. Yeah, they all the ones I found kind of just said, yeah, she kind of just gave up. She just let herself get shot. But to be fair, I mean, she saw her kids die. So did she really? And she probably thought that he wasn't going to let her really leave anyway.
Mhm.
So, and then he shoots her, and she dies. And then from there, Jack then fashions the Grumpy's corpse into a sculpture with a grisly smile.
Oh my God, the Joker smile. It's a Joker smile.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, great.
I think that I was like, bruh, like out of all the bodies you do that to, like I did not like that part.
Mm-mm.
That was like the only part that I just couldn't stand watching.
Starts talking about how what kind of art he makes and how Virgil is just like, yeah, but you're the kind of art you're making is really messed up. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like a brief discussion about separating the art from the artist.
Yeah. Oh my God, that fucking conversation. But like he also talks about like how he figured it out. He's just like, oh, well, there's like a certain amount of time before rigor mortis hits. And Jesus Christ, my mind went to freaking RuPaul's Drag Race for a minute.
Rigor Morris? Who's Morris?
Rigor Morris, exactly. I was like, fuck. So like he talks about
I just watched that season 2 recently.
That's so funny. So like he talks about how there's a certain time before like rigor mortis kicks in and the freezer, so like, and how to sculpt it using different materials and stuff to pose them exactly the way that you want them before everything sets in. Like he was talking about that, and then they talk about like the art from the artist type shit.
Yeah.
Rigor Morris, girl.
Who's Morris?
It's rigor
Real sad.
mortis.
Fucking Alyssa Edwards. God, all right. Who wants to do incident number 4?
Oh god, the fucking girlfriend, bro.
You could do the fourth
Girlfriend.
one.
Listen, like what? Why do I got okay, that's fine. So in the fourth incident, Jack is in a very unhealthy relationship with this woman named Jacqueline, who he psychologically and verbally abuses her. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh, I'm triggered. And nicknames her Simple to as a way of making fun of her. She even tells him like stop calling me that, like I fucking hate whenever you call me Simple. They also do like this like brain game type thing, right? Like I don't remember, it was like a this or that type thing. Like what's the difference between like this and that? And
You know,
then
like an engineer versus an architect.
yeah, but that was the one she got wrong. Like there were other ones that she got right. I just can't remember what they are at the moment. Oh my god. Ugh, that's kind of bug me. Anyway, so but yeah, like he does ask what's the difference between an architect and an engineer, and like she's like an architect builds things. He's like, okay, and the engineer, and she's like, they also build things. And he's like, that's not different. This is why you're simple. He also drunkenly confesses to her in her apartment that he has killed 60 people. She doesn't believe him, and after that he like grabs like a marker or something and like pulls down her shirt and makes like red circles around her breasts. Like kind of like if you imagine it, kind of like a plastic surgeon does, whenever they're gonna do some augmentation. Um, she becomes frightened and she leaves the apartment and she approaches a police officer and tells him how like this fucking crazy guy in her apartment has just told her that he killed like 60 people. And like he was just like, "Have you had anything to drink today, ma'am?" She's like, "Well, yeah, but," he's like, "Well, maybe you should like lay off. Like don't be drinking so much." And like
Damn.
Jack comes out and like even like agrees with her. Like, "Yeah, I killed him. I killed him." And he was just like, "You both are drunk, go home."
Damn.
They go back inside. I remember a conversation about pills and her trying to leave, but
Gaslighting to the max.
yeah, oh god, ugh, ugh, ugh. The PTSD, bro, the PTSD. Except my boobs didn't get cut off. He she tries to leave. He has her keys, and then he ties her up. And well, he like also he plays cat and mouse with her for a little bit beforehand.
Yeah.
Like he's just like scream, scream, scream. See, nobody cares. And then she even goes outside. He's like, see, like nobody fucking cares. Like then he brings her back inside, ties her up, and then cuts off her breasts with the knife. He then goes outside, like slaps one of the breasts onto the police officer's car, and keeps the other one. For which we
Mm-mm.
find out what he does with it later in the movie. I can't get over that. Which I mean,
So fucked up.
this is what's crazy is that so far they have taken inspiration not only from Dante's Inferno, but also the Zodiac Killer and the real life Texas Chainsaw,
Ed Gein, yeah.
Ed Gein. I was like,
Yeah.
this is interesting. Wow.
So fucked up.
It is. It's very fucked up, but
I mean, this movie is done so fucking well.
like
Don't get it
stereotypically,
twisted.
yeah, but like stereotypically, I'm a white bitch that likes watching true crime shit, including shit that has to do with serial killers.
Yeah.
Does that help my anxiety? No.
It most certainly does not.
My boyfriend called me out on that the first time ever. Whenever I was like, yeah, I'm watching true crime shit. And he's just all like, don't you suffer from anxiety? And I was like, yeah. He's just all like, don't you think that it's kind of unhealthy for you to be watching something that's anxiety inducing? I'm like, yeah, probably.
Me
I should go back
prepare
to watching it.
for
I was just like,
when they
I was
might
like,
get me.
exactly.
you
I
prepare.
watch it in preparation so I
It
know,
makes me feel safe.
In a weird fucking way.
right?
They
like-
can't get me if I'm surrounded by knowledge.
It's like, listen, if I know the mind of a killer, then I'll be okay. Because I know how they think.
Oof.
So to finish off with the fifth
Fifth,
incident,
it's
yeah, Jack has like, I guess, talked about like the depravity of humanity, and also talks throughout the movie. He's been talking about like how he's been trying to build this house, and he keeps messing up. Like the materials aren't doing what I want them to, and he has them bulldozed every time. But he has like unlimited resources for some reason. Like he just like it. Money is no object to him apparently.
he stole it from all the people he killed.
Well, that too. But that aside, he's like, I have an idea. I'm going to try and recreate this theory. They said it's I don't know if it was Nazis, but like this bullet was so powerful it could go through a bunch of people's heads at once if you line them up.
Oh, he was talking about how they were experimenting on different ways of killing people. And to save ammunition, they would line up like a certain amount of people in a row and shoot them with one bullet.
Okay, and
I
Jack,
think it was World War II that he was
probably,
referring to.
and because where else would they even think to try this?
You right.
Yeah.
You are very right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Like we're trying to figure out like how mice react to their medicine, and then meanwhile the Nazis are like, how effective is it to kill someone with this kind of bullet? And it's like, well, if you consider all these factors, you line them up perfectly, you can probably get about 5 or 6.
Mm.
But anyway, that aside, Jack is at his freezer. No, he's just kidnapped somebody, and this time it's a man. And you're like, wait, hasn't he killed women all this time?
Well, the guy that he's talking to, he's also made a comment on how like he always talks about. Oh, it was after the woman, after his girlfriend. Whenever Verge is talking to him, he's just like, "Oh, well, you seem to only like talk about women and like how stupid women are and how vulnerable women are and this is that and the other." And he was just like, "Well, no, like I've killed others too. I've killed men." He goes like, "Yes, but like you specifically go out of your way to like the only incidents that you've talked about so far have been women, and you go out of your way to talk about how like stupid these women are." And then he like goes into like the fifth incident of like kidnapping these men.
Yeah, and that almost sounds like an exception. Like, I'm not just a lady. I'm not just a woman killer. I also kill men too. Here's proof. And he has this man. He's got in his van, and he drags him to his freezer, and there's like 5 other men tied up, and they're laid on this post. I don't know what to describe this, but basically all their heads are lined up, including the 6th man. And then Jack has this high-powered rifle set up.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, just need to aim this. I was like, I'll be right back. I just got to get some ammunition. And he bought some ammunition from some guy. He's like, is this a Full Metal Jacket? Yeah, it's just a Full Metal Jacket. Okay, here's your money, buy. And we see what he pays with money in a
Breast wallet.
tit wallet.
It's a titty wallet.
It's a
Literally-
titty wallet.
And not like the ladies' titty wallet where we just pull things out of like, you know,
Yeah, out of your
between our
bra.
boobs. Yeah, no, like this man literally got his ex-girlfriend's titty and made a wallet out of
It's
it.
clearly in like at least I don't know the third stage of decomp. It's rotted a bit. Also,
Yeah.
when you said tit, well, I was thinking, oh my god, I've handled sweaty tit money before. When I was a cashier.
Oh, I think everybody has. That's a common thing.
No, I think we had a policy that was like, don't give us sweaty tit money. Well, people did it anyway because it's the summer and it's like, my pants don't have pockets. You're just gonna have to take this, kid. And I'm like, all right.
That's what a fucking purse is for, man.
Mm-hmm.
Not when you're a redneck.
Damn.
Just where I'm from. But anyways,
Damn.
Jack's setting up. And he's
Read
like,
them.
all right, he's got this bullet, this big, sizable rifle caliber. I don't know what it might have been a 38. I don't know my gun calibers, but basically it's a big bullet. And the man he just captured, he's like, "Oh, that's not a Full Metal Jacket." It's like, "What? I'm a military man. That is not a Full Metal Jacket. That's not like it's like a hunting rifle variety, something that's strong but not that strong." And then Jack's like, "Oh my god, you fucking serious? You sold me the wrong bullets. Hang on, I'll be right back. Don't you guys go anywhere." And they're
He's like,
freezing.
don't die on me.
Yeah, they're freezing,
Because-
probably in hypothermic
some-
shock.
Yeah.
And then Jack goes and finds the guy he just bought the bullets from, like, these aren't the right bullets. And he has a big old fit about it. And then he leaves and he goes and finds his friend named SP. And I think he was the blacksmith. Or is that a different person?
I
Um,
think that's a different person.
I think that's a different person.
That's
Yeah.
someone that he went hunting with.
Oh, okay. I don't remember all the minor characters, but they have a history.
Yeah. I'm just going off of that scene. They were talking about hunting and like how SP took like a kill from under him.
And well, Jack shows up at SP's house, and then SP is holding a gun at him, like, "I know what you did. I'm gonna get the police to come and get you." Jack's like, "What are you like?" He's trying to dodge the question, like, "What are you talking about? What have I done?" And I was like, "You killed
That
those
break-in.
people."
No, he said the break-in.
Oh,
There
the
was a
the
break-in.
break-in. I
He's
never
just like, no, like
burgled anybody.
originally, yeah, but then he's just like, you know what? You're right.
Goes to sit down, has the gun held at his face, has a knife under the table. For just when, and then you think he's gonna do it like right when SP puts the gun down, but SP just puts the gun down, then quickly picks it back up, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still quick." And then Jack has this little conversation with SP to make him drop his guard. And then SP reaches out his hand, and then Jack just stabs him in the neck.
Uh-uh.
And then checks his cabinets, finds the bullet he's looking for. Like, okay, this is the bullet I'm looking for. Goes back to the walk-in freezer, shows it to the military guy. Like, is this a Full Metal Jacket? It's like, yes. And Jack's like, all right, we're gonna put it in the gun. And then he's trying to aim down the scope, but it's too close, so we can't get in the focus. It's like, well, hang on. I guess I'll need to get some distance, but I'm against the wall. I guess I'll try the door again. The door from the beginning that he couldn't open, and yet this time,
He was able to break it open.
yes.
Yeah.
It's in a dark room. He moves the rifle back, and he gets it all in focus, and he's about to pull the trigger, and then he hears Verge.
Man, Verge saved those people's life.
He sure did.
And also, while doing this, a police officer had showed up to check on SP, and oh yeah, Jack kills the police officer, and he gets the car, and he doesn't turn the siren off.
No, he does not.
So he drives to the walk-in, and the siren's still on, and then another car shows up to investigate, and then they can't get through that main door because it's blocked up by those two big iron girders or door blocking things. So they're like, I guess they're using a blowtorch to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Verge is having a conversation with Jack. And it's like, Jack, you never built that home you wanted to, did you? Like, you made several attempts to build the perfect house between murders, and you never got to it. But then in the freezer, he arranges those frozen corpses he's collected over the years into the shape of a house.
Yeah, it's the house that Jack built.
Yay.
It's
Not yay, but
it's exquisite and grotesque.
yeah, some house.
And then there's like a hole in the floor that shows up out of seemingly nowhere, and he goes into the hole, and now
Oh.
he's in hell.
This is where we get Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, there was other imagery in the movie that alluded to
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno, but this one is just like, yeah, we're leaving
Literal.
realism for now. We're gonna go straight down into
Hell.
Some trippy ass shit.
some guy's fan fiction of what hell should be.
I mean, fanfic. Girl, Dante's Inferno is nothing more than a self-inserted fanfic.
It is.
Because he's a huge fan of Virgil.
But at the same time, I don't remember who it was. It was from Wendigoon's video where it's like, oh, I'm big fans of these people, but they're in limbo because they didn't believe in God. And I was like,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like you guys, but you're still going to hell.
Yes. Yes. Oh God. That's the world's greatest fanfic. And it's a fanfic epic. He goes to hell and then up the stairs to heaven.
Yeah. I mean, he basically gets to talk mad shit on all the people he doesn't like. Like I said,
Exact. He
like there's
talks mad fucking shit.
like there's someone that's like eating the head of some other person on the 9th level. And it's like, good, you deserve it.
Yes. He drags a bunch of people. Oh, it's so great. If you have not read the Divine Comedy, Dante's Inferno, please do yourself a favor and read the Divine Comedy. It's so fucking good. So good.
But yeah.
Anyway.
So they're both in hell.
Yep.
And they make it all the way down to the bottom, and it's like, okay, what's across that bridge? And Virgil's like, it leads to heaven. It just goes back up. Like, oh, what happened to the bridge? Oh, it's been gone for my time. Can I climb across? Yeah, you
You
could.
could certainly try.
I mean, many have tried, but they've all failed. Jack's like, okay, I'm gonna try. Virgil's like, all right, see you, man, bye. And then
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
And
no,
Jack-
Jack is like, I got this, bitch. I
Yeah.
got it.
Jack makes it halfway across, and part of me kind of wants to see him make it to the other side, but the other part is like, drop, drop, drop.
Do you really think he's gonna make it to heaven?
He doesn't deserve to, and he slips and falls into
Yeah.
the infinitesimal depths of hell, and
And
that
that's
is
literally the
the
movie.
end of the film.
Literally. Yay, his death. And I was like, he is not going to go to heaven. You are lying. I know damn well he's not
Like,
going.
I know you lie.
He's going to get to that gate and God's going to throw the book at him. He's like, bitch, you think the fuck with your glasses OCD having ass.
That's how God talks.
Yeah, it does. It is now.
He's
It
really
is
catty.
now. He's like, bitch, the fuck.
This is sacrilege.
Yes, it is. Right after Zombie Jesus Day, on top of that. Lord, have mercy. So this movie was a
Yeah,
a
so
journey.
this movie.
So it was a journey. I mean, symbolism, Dante's Inferno, Mind of a Serial Killer, OCD.
The symbolism of OCD.
The symbolism of OCD.
I mean, you can get to see into a mind of somebody who has OCD.
True. I'm just
Kind of.
hoping that people's takeaway isn't that, oh, people with a mental condition will be criminals. Like, no.
No,
That's just
no.
what happened to this guy.
He was a serial killer who happened to have OCD.
Yes.
Yes, but I mean statistics, bro. The number of serial killers who did have some type of mental disorder
Yes. But the point
outweighs
that
the serial killers who don't have a mental
but the
disorder.
point that Bunya's making is just because you have a mental disorder doesn't mean you're going to be a serial killer.
Yeah, like
Yes, I
be
agree.
Yes.
be afraid of the correct thing, not of
A mental
this.
disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we all have mental disorders here, and I'm not a serial killer, and neither are my two guests. Side eye.
Do you want to talk about your experiences with obsessive compulsive disorder if you have it?
I do not have OCD.
Oh, I do.
I don't have OCD, but like there are some things that like I know a lot of people say that like it's insensitive to people who do have OCD, but there are very specific things that have to be done a very, very specific way for me, or it's not right. Like I'm like, no, it's not right. It has to be done again. If it's not done that way, like I get very like irritated because of it. I don't
Mm.
know what that would be called exactly.
I guess if you're compelled to do something a certain way, that could be an element of it.
It's like it is a compulsive disorder, but it's not OCD. You know what I mean?
Like it's not
Mhm.
an obsession.
Yeah. Like if it like for example, like I have to have my clothes folded a very specific way. If they are not folded this very specific, it should just be the tism. Honestly, this would just be the tism
It could be just
because
autism.
yeah, because like it has to be folded a very specific way, and if it's not, I will go back and
Yeah,
refold what you folded.
that
I'm
might
like,
just
how
be the autism.
that might just be the tism. Like it's like, and the same thing with like cleaning, right? Like I remember growing up cleaning all the time, and like I would be mad because no one would help me. But then like whenever my dad would say like, why don't you ask your sister to help you? I'd be like, no, because she's not going to do it the correct way. She's not going to do it the correct way, and then I'm going to get very mad because she's not doing it the way, because like if it's not clean the way that I clean it, it's not clean, and she's not going to do it the way that I clean it.
The only thing I obsess over is when I leave my car, when I park my car, I always have to check to make sure it's locked like 2 or 3 times before I walk away because I'm afraid I left the car unlocked.
Me with locking the house doors.
Yeah. So outside that, nah, I just suffer from anxiety and depression caused by anxiety
I was
and
gonna
dyslexia and shit.
say I have issues with like preserving balance. Like if I eat food, I'm like it has to be on both sides of the mouth when I chew.
Oh,
Like if it's related to balance or completing something, it will bother me until I can complete it.
If it makes you feel better, I eat my food a very specific way too. Like and Indigo has pointed it out. Like and like I'm so aware of it now because he pointed it out. But I will pick usually my least favorite on the plate, and then I will go counterclockwise on the plate. Like
Hmm.
I don't eat like a bite of everything. Like let's say that I have like green beans, rice, let's say like pork and like another like mashed potatoes or something like that. So I will start with the green beans, and then I'll go to the rice, and then I'll like in counterclockwise orders. Like I'll eat all the green beans, and then I'll eat all the rice, and then I'll eat all of the pork chop, and then I'll eat like it's really weird. To me, it's weird. I know that other people do it, but like I'm just like ever since Indigo pointed it out, I'm very well aware of
You
it.
get self-conscious, like, wait, do I eat weird?
Yeah, no, it's so weird because he's like, you eat counterclockwise, and I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you spin your plate like counterclockwise, like you eat like each thing, you finish it and then you turn. I was like, what? And then like I started to become really aware that I do it, and like I try and stop myself from doing it, but then I feel very uncomfy. And so I go back to eating, like how he pointed out, and I'm like, I fucking hate you. I like he made me so mad. fucking pointing that shit out.
So, Bunyip, as someone who suffers from OCD, does this movie show a good depiction of OCD?
Maybe in its most severe cases, like comparatively, I'm like, I probably don't have as much issues with like what I used to. In fact, if I
Mhm.
probably went back to a psychiatrist, they might even do a re-diagnosis. Like, you probably don't have a severe enough case for it to be OCD. It could just be perfectionism, which can be related. Like, a lot of
Mhm.
OCD people want to do everything just right. And
Mm.
the main difference between like the people who are like, oh, everyone's a little OCD, and the people who sincerely have it is they don't have much control over it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in that second incident where like every time he goes back to the car, it's like, is there blood behind the painting? It's like, no, the painting was on the wall. It can't end up behind there. Oh, please think about this logically. It's like, no, logic doesn't matter. He is compelled to check. And then he
Uh-huh.
checks and it's like, there's no fucking blood there. I knew it. There's no blood there. And then he has to clean up everything again. Even the police are here. He's like, oh, the police are coming. I need to clean this place, but the police are coming. I need to get the hell out of here, but I can't stop.
Yeah.
So I'd say, other than using murder as a coping mechanism for their condition, I'd say it can be pretty accurate at times.
I hope so. I
Oh
hope
my
murder is
god!
not
I'm
is not a
sorry. That
good
was
way
too
to
funny.
to live with it.
I would hope not.
Yeah, there's
We do not condone murder here on the pod.
oh, clearly not. We do in some instances find it hilarious, but
Yes.
only in the context of fictional works.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, other than the OCD thing, I was gonna make some mention of other themes that I've learned about
Go
this
for it.
film. Okay, so basically, a lot of women are killed in this movie. Like, they're the focus of being murdered, and then those
Mhm.
6 men that were lined up, they don't even get killed. They survive.
Yeah.
But that aside, like, some of the women die in ways that make the viewer feel like, yeah, she deserved it. Like the first lady, like, wow, she was being a real nagging person. She was really agitating him. She deserved to get smacked in the face. Or the second person, like, wow, she let her guard down because she was oblivious to her own instincts. Like in the beginning, she was really put on guard, like, oh, I don't think you're who you say you are. And then the second time, where it's like, oh, I'm actually an insurance agent. Like, oh, do come in. And sort of
Oof.
be like, yeah, she deserved it because she was being stupid and stuff like that. Or,
Oof.
yeah, like those kinds of comments and how they can relate to how we tend to treat women in society as a whole,
Oof.
or how we may perceive female victims. Especially with that fourth incident with Jacqueline
Yeah.
going out. And like, the interesting thing about that one is Jack shows up to the scene with a crutch to garner sympathy, because that's what Ted Bundy did when he was trying to avoid
Mhm.
being accused. He's like, oh, it couldn't have been poor old me, except it
Oh,
totally
that's
was him.
that's the third.
I was talking
That's
about the fourth one.
no. I'm talking about that's the third instance that like has come from a different. It's a different serial killer that they took inspiration from.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think they also mentioned like there was some inspiration from Gacy in this movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he mentions Gacy too.
He does. He does mention Gacy.
Oh, okay. With Jacqueline, like Jack shows up with a crutch to garner sympathy, and then he mistreats Jacqueline all the time, mainly abusing her, treating her like she's stupid. And then Jacqueline runs out to see the police officer, like, hey, this person, I don't trust them. They're being abusive. And he's like, lady, are you drunk or something? And even though Jack shows up without his crutch and says, like, yeah, everything she said was true, he's like, you guys are crazy. You drunk, just go home. You're drunk. I'm gonna drive away and go find some real crimes going on. And then they go back inside, and then Jacqueline gets murdered. But earlier, in that scene, Jack had shown up. He illegally parked his car, and the cop put a ticket under his window, and Jack didn't even bother paying attention. He's like, I don't care. Which Jack mirrors later with the windshield wiper of the police officer's car,
and
Mm-hmm.
the boob.
and the cop is pretty much. I think the cop only talks to Jacqueline and this person that he's talking to near the end of that scene. Like, I don't know who that person was in the background. Was like, hey, you can't be here. You're doing like loitering or something illegal. Just basically talking with them. But he never talks with Jack directly. Like, never really confronts him. Which I found that to be an interesting choice.
Yeah.
And during that same scene where Jack is being abusive to Jacqueline, he says something like, men are like, he believes men are born criminals. Like, self-pitying thing, like men are criminals and women are born victims, or something odd like that. Which sounds like something an incel might say.
Yeah, he was kind of giving
Yeah.
kind of incel vibes.
Absolutely. Hang on, let's see what else did I put down. Yeah, there's also one of the biggest themes would have to be separation from art from the artist, because I don't know much about this director, but what I did read up on them is like they make a lot of weird, controversial films, and people don't like the director for that. But just because you make something that seems vile or monstrous doesn't mean that you yourself are evil. Like Junji
Exactly.
Ito's horror works.
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe Junji Ito in real life?
You would
He is
think.
so bright
Yeah, he's so bright and cheery. The
and like
opposite of his work.
the opposite of his work. But you know what's funny is that the creator of for Studio Ghibli,
Hayao Miyazaki.
Hayao Miyazaki, like he is very much like a fuck the world, I hate this, like my life fuck, like he.
But his shit is whimsical.
But it's so whimsical and beautiful.
Yes. Mirror.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't really know what to make of what was his name, Lars von Trier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like this is the only movie I've seen by him, so I'd have to see more of his works. But a lot of people were like, I don't like you because you make these freaky movies, and he's like, I'm just making something that's kind of dark and challenging.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I'm a horrible person.
No, sure don't.
But yeah, this is. Oh yeah, I think the last thing I put was like, I was talking about his perfectionism and OCD, and whenever he tries to build a house, despite his talent and the resources he has access to, he tears down that house tons of times. Like the material
Multiple
isn't
times.
right, and when he's like doing construction and like the concepting stage, he like smashes the model. And it isn't until he has this shelter that's made from bodies that he is satisfied with it. And even then, I'm not even sure if he's completely satisfied with it. Because usually when you're working with perfectionism, even if you do complete something that seems like, oh, like other people might like it, maybe not that house of bodies, but other people might like it, but you yourself will be like, I fucking hate this. This is disgusting. How can anyone love this?
Right.
I feel that.
Like I showed a friend of mine this character I drew for a contest. It didn't win or anything. It was just like a character, and I personally didn't like it, but she loved the design that I gave this character. I was like, wow, well, thank you. But yeah, that's all I had in terms of like themes and symbolism.
Cool beans. Ratings.
Oh
We'll
my
do
gosh.
1 out of 5 houses.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that.
what you mean 1 out of 5 titty wallets? You know what? 1 out of 5 titty wallets.
Oh my
I was
god.
I was like, what's the medical term for like removing a breast? A mastectomy? Or is that a different term?
Oh god.
I think it is a mastectomy.
Anyway, I'm gonna give this film a 4 out of 5. It's really fucking good, y'all. Like I'm not joking.
mastectomy.
It's good. A vasectomy?
Mastectomy.
Mastectomy.
Mastectomy is completely
Yes,
different on a
I
completely
know.
different person, sir. With a different set of
Mastectomy.
pipes. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
So, but this movie's 2.5 hours long. First off, it's a long horror film, mind you.
Sorry.
They really go in detail with how this guy works and the incidents that he talks about and everything. But yeah, I will give this a 4 out of 5. Will I watch this again? No, absolutely not. You will never catch me watching this again because I just got so uncomfy while watching this movie. The director and the actors did their job. I was uncomfy.
I feel very accomplished.
I was very uncomfy.
Now,
There's some of those memories that he was recounting.
now we just need a movie that Bunyip absolutely hates and will rant about.
Oh my god.
That's-
Isn't that the dream?
It is horribly disgusting to me or something?
No, like how
Well, as a
Zio
pastor was
has,
for Mad Chairman.
and how My Bloody Valentine is for Zio.
Listen, that movie is trash, and I will not be taking any questions or comments at this time.
Like it gets him triggered every time you mention it.
It's
What
so
about
fucking
you,
bad.
what about you, housekeeper? Did you have a pop-off episode that I missed?
I don't think so.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Give it time. Give it time.
But there is a movie that I've seen once and I will never watch it again. And
Yeah.
I absolutely I gave it like 5 stars. I was like, it's great, it's amazing.
See no
They
evil.
did exactly
evil.
what I can't. Great film, fantastically done. Cannot ever do it ever again.
Don't blame you. Will I try a Dragon to the American remake? Yes. Will I succeed? It's to be seen.
You
It's
will
to be
not.
seen.
I will not watch it.
We'll see about that.
I will not watch it.
We will see about that. Comes out this year. We'll see about that. Anyway, so 4 for me. 4 out of 5 TD wallets.
You know, I'm gonna give it. Man, I'm gonna give it a 5.
Ooh.
As I said throughout this video, freaking serial killers, the psychology of serial killers is very interesting for me. I know I have talked smack about artsy fartsy horror films before. We watched one and we were like, what the fuck was that?
Hmm.
I don't remember what episode that was, honestly. But like it was just enough artsy fartsy. And like, yes, there were some disturbing scenes. Will I watch this again? I won't go out of my way to watch it again, but I wouldn't, like, I'm not gonna not watch it. Like it was a good movie. You know, I do appreciate what they did with this movie. I enjoyed it. It is a long film. So if you're willing to do that,
Mhm.
if you're willing to sit down for 2.5 hours to watch a man slowly turn into a serial killer
Yeah.
and his descent down the 9 pits of hell, you know? Which the end, I will say the end was like kind of like off. Like it was whenever he fell, and then it was just like ending credits. I was like, oh, that's kind of
Wow.
anticlimactic. I was like, oh, I was hoping for something more. But I'm
Fair
still
enough.
not gonna put down my, like, I'm not gonna make my score any lower.
Yeah.
But because like everything else kind of outshines that, like that ending. For me anyway.
I think I'm going with 3.5.
Okay.
Fun, yeah.
I did find the movie interesting. I didn't necessarily love it.
That's fair.
It seems like another one of those films you'll need to watch multiple times to truly understand it. And I didn't quite get all of it. And I wish I had better vocabulary to explain how how to properly criticize a film. Like it almost seems like it's too much. Like I can't properly tackle this movie. Like, can I still give it a score anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, there were
Um,
some movies where like that's how I felt too. You know.
I guess I'm trying to say like I respect the people who made it and I respect the movie itself. I just didn't enjoy it very thoroughly, but it did have moments that did keep my interest. Like I wasn't distracted very much from this. I was watching the entire time like I got to see where this goes next. Like how is this dumbass getting away with murder? How is he doing this? And it's like maybe it's because the people around him are kind of dumb. But then he gets better at doing murder. It's like, okay, I see some character progression. He's calculated the exact amount of time it takes to strangle someone. We found a way to isolate people and hunt them down. And so on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it seems I think I'm mainly basing this off of how I felt about the movies. Like The Menu was probably the one movie I gave the highest score to.
I fucking love that movie.
Yes, like I loved it so much. I'm like, it's getting a 5. And then this one I didn't love nearly as much, but I
Mhm.
don't want to say I enjoyed the movie or that I loved it, but I was definitely engaged with it.
Yeah.
So that's why I give it a 3.5.
Average of a 4.16.
4.16. Woo.
And this was based on houses or tit wallets?
It was
Titty
tit
wallets.
wallets.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it'll just be a wallet with like $4.16.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Hey, Jesus, we're going to hell.
That's so funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at that.
But we are.
Yeah, I am.
And
It's
that's
funny.
and that's on trauma.
Fuck off.
That's on trauma in life.
Shut up.
So, thank you all for listening to today's episode. Catch us next time as we talk about something else. Until then, bye.
Goodbye.